Let me ask you a question. Where do you hide your stash? Maybe in your pants? Or maybe in a monkey under your blouse? I'm Bob from World 5 List. Join me as I take you through 12 of the craziest smuggling attempts ever. Number 12. Drug legs. Now, when you think of smuggling, your mind probably automatically goes to illegal items, and one of the most popular things to smuggle is drugs. Well, one flight crew member thought that he could con the system and actually fly in 4 bags of cocaine from Jamaica. You know, since he was part of the crew, he probably thought he wouldn't be searched like actual passengers. However, he was searched, and when he reached Kennedy Airport in New York, through regular customs, ironically enough, they searched him, and they found 4 bags of cocaine taped to his legs. It's not really a smart way to transfer bags of product, as your legs bang into things all the time, and if those bags ripped open, well, cocaine would be spilling out. Ironically, though, they didn't, but the man was still arrested. Oh, and the 4 bags, the street value of them was $160,000. Number 11. Making the dough. Now, I don't have a lot of information on this one, but honestly, it doesn't really need a whole lot of explanation either. Someone tried to smuggle money into the country. It happens all the time, probably because it's fake, or maybe it's a payment of some kind. Now, bringing in money does raise a whole lot of red flags at airports, and you have to have certain papers or approval to do so. And remember that anything over $10,000 is going to have to be reported on a customs form. So one person didn't want to do that, and they decided to hide the money inside of some croissants. That's right, they literally baked the money into the croissants. The money was actually protected in tinfoil, that way the dough wouldn't get stuck to it. Either way, whether the people at customs or security scanned the croissants or something triggered an alert, they were searched and the person was apprehended. Number 10. One of these things is not like the other. Now, I've got 2 tiger stories to tell you. The first one's about a woman who decided to smuggle a baby tiger in her suitcase, and then she tried to fly home. Now, she may have gotten away with it, but as she tried to handle the suitcase, she got kind of scared about how to pick it up, likely to ensure that she didn't injure the baby tiger inside of her suitcase. Well, security observed it and got a little suspicious about how weird she was being about her own luggage. Knowing that she might be searched, she wisely filled her bag with tiger toys, to camouflage the real live tiger that she drugged and stuck in there. So she was caught, and the tiger was returned home. And now for another tiger story. But first, if you're new here, be sure you're subscribed. You want to get more videos like these, don't you? Number 9. A mail order tiger. Now, this one kind of makes me a little upset because it was dumb luck that this smuggling attempt didn't go through, and there's actually a twist at the end. A person decided to mail themselves a tiger and have it sent to their home in Mexico. And that's when they put the tiger inside of a plastic container, sedated it, and made sure that it would be quote-unquote comfortable before shipping it off. Now, before it could reach its destination, a random contraband sweep would take place at a delivery company. The dog picked up on the young tiger cub's scent and alerted the handler, and thankfully the tiger was okay, just a little bit dehydrated. But the twist? Well, the person who mailed the tiger actually got the tiger in a legal way. They even had papers showing that they'd properly procured it. But they didn't get to keep it because mailing it like they did shows mistreatment of the animal, which is a revocation of your license. Finally, some justice. Number 8. The Book of Cocaine. Now, going back to the drug trade, we've all heard the phrase, booked for drugs, right? Well, one guy literally smuggled a book of drugs. Now, I don't mean a person had a book and cut out the pages. That way he could hide all the drugs on the inside, though many people have done that over the years. No, the guy literally laced the pages of a book with cocaine. This would take place in December of 2017 when the book would be confiscated at Melbourne Airport in Australia. Now, there are a couple of things that make this one even more crazy. First, the guy who did this, well, he was 71 years old. And secondly, there was apparently 700 grams of cocaine within the pages, which is kind of impressive because it must have taken a whole lot of work. Number 7, bird is the word. Now, my first entry about a person smuggling drugs in his pants, but now you're going to hear about someone who tried to smuggle animals in their pants, which, for the record, happens a whole lot more than you might think. A man would strap 2 pigeons to his legs in Dubai, India, and then go on to a flight that was taking him to Australia. Upon landing there, customs would check his bags, where they found 2 pigeon eggs. Now suspicious, of course, they searched him, and that's when they found the poor birds. Personally, I think it's a miracle those birds didn't move around during the flight. I mean, they're pigeons. They're the rats of the sky, and they make a lot of crazy noise. Number 6, what's up, Doc? Drug smuggling is rampant all over the world, and dealers will do just about anything to try and get their product where it needs to go, including using food as a mule. Case in point, smugglers would try to use carrots, of all things, in order to smuggle marijuana into the United States. To be fair, they really sold the illusion of carrots because they had 2 truckloads of their fake carrots stuffed with the product. And if you looked at them from a distance, you would think that they were carrots, plain and simple. However, they weren't, and when they tried to cross the border, Border Patrol took a closer look and found that they weren't actually carrots at all. There were over 2,800 quote-unquote carrots in those trucks, and that adds up to a whole lot of pot. Number 5, the engine block. Smuggling takes a whole lot of forms, and while most of it is profit, there's actually some violence involved, including smuggling guns. In the UK, a tip would be given to authorities that a series of guns was going to be smuggled through the English Channel. Now, knowing it was a good tip, they then checked the ferries that were bound for the UK, and as they searched through the cargo, they found a series of engine blocks. But as they searched those blocks, they found no fewer than 79 handguns, all of which would have been happily used by the gangs of London. Now, thankfully for all, they were confiscated, and you have to think that the ferry became much more secure after that. Number 4, aren't you glad I pulled you over? You see, it happened in Spain in January of 2018. Local police would see 2 cars and just felt that something was wrong, so he pulled them over. And when he did, he saw that the cars were packed with a combined amount of 4 tons of oranges. The cars were outfitted in a way so that the oranges were confined to the back seat area, but still, that's a whole lot of oranges for January and not being in boxes. But where did they come from? Well, the 5 geniuses in question decided to rob a warehouse from a nearby Spanish town. Now, I'd list some of the ways they could have gotten away with this, but that'd actually be comparing apples to oranges. Number 3, Crocs on a plane. Now, as we get to the top 3, we see smuggling attempts that truly boggle the mind, like smuggling a crocodile onto a plane. It did happen, and it didn't turn out well for anyone, including the croc. This happened in the Congo, where someone had somehow stuffed a crocodile into a piece of luggage and then put it into the overhead compartment. Now, unlike previous entries, the crocodile didn't stay sedated, and like any trapped animal, it tried to break out, and it succeeded. Sadly, this is where things went very wrong, because the croc broke free while the plane was in midair, and when the passengers saw a very angry crocodile, they tried to run away, and this threw the plane off balance and made it crash. Only 1 person survived, and the crocodile, well, it survived too, but apparently was put down later on. Nobody actually knows who brought the crocodile on board, but wherever they are now, I bet they regret it. Number 2, I smuggled a zoo. Now, I've already shown you some absolutely insane smuggling attempts, but this one almost takes the cake, because a man from the Czech Republic actually tried to smuggle into Bulgaria an entire zoo, or pretty well close to one. The craziest part, however, is how much smuggling that he did and how close he came to actually getting away with it. We begin with how he did his operation. The man got a bus and somehow put animals into boxes, and then somehow put them in the passenger seats and overhead compartments. Putting animals into boxes, well, that's rarely a good idea, but he did it, and he did it a lot. Now, there's no way that he did this alone, and when he took the bus and drove it nearly 1,000 miles, he would be stopped and searched at Bulgarian customs and promptly arrested. Number 1. That's not a monkey, I'm pregnant. Now, I still can't believe that this one happened, but it did. In 2008, a woman in Thailand decided to bring home a monkey, which is illegal under most circumstances, as I'm sure you can guess. Undeterred though, she got the monkey, sedated it, and then put it under her blouse. Now, you may be thinking, how did no one notice the bulge? Well, she had the perfect cover story. It's that she was pregnant. Now, I'm sure she filled out the bulge some more to sell the illusion, but not only did people buy this, she actually was able to fly from Thailand to the United States without being searched. And she went on to live happily ever after. Well, not quite. Proud of her accomplishment, the woman then decided to brag about it all. She would be in a clothing store and told an assistant about what she did. Knowing that what the woman did was wrong, the assistant then called the authorities, and the woman would be charged with conspiracy and smuggling. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these insane smuggling attempts? Let me know which one was your favorite in the comments below, and maybe if you have a better method. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.